Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, we are commemorating GIS Day, and also this week is commemorated as Geographic Week. So geography lovers and enthusiasts gather around and let's celebrate the amazing technology of geographic information systems on this GIS Day on November 15th every year. So this is an annual celebration which is celebrated on third Wednesday of November or on the Wednesday within Geography Awareness Week. So GIS is said to be the technology that answers question of where. So GIS Yes, sorry. So GIS is said to be the technology that answers questions of where. It is a scientific framework for capturing, analyzing, and visualizing location data to help make better decisions. For example, GIS can predict areas of flooding, whether you are geography newbie or master cartographer. You can celebrate this brilliant technology of GIS, its contributions to the real world, and your own GIS accomplishments. On GS Day every year, help others learn more about geography and discover GIS. So the first ever GIS Day was held on November 19th, 1999 during the Geography Awareness Week held during the same year. Geography Awareness Week has been held every November since 1987, and it's during this week that GIS Day typically occurs. GIS Day was famously inspired by American activist and lawyer Ralph Nader, who believed it would be a great way for people, especially those in grassroots, to learn about geography and GIS technology. While GS Day was first brought up to Ralph Nader, he wasn't the one who put into action. The first GIS Day was organized by the National Geographic Society, Nat Geo, and the Association of American Geographers. Apart from Nat Geo and AAG, some of the original sponsors of GIS included the University of Consortium for Geography Information Science, United States Geological Survey, Hewlett Packard, famously known as HP, and also Spatial Analysis Leader ESRI, that is Environmental Systems Research Institute. So today, GS Day is celebrated by over 1 lakh people around the world. The events of the day provide international recognition and awareness of GIS technology and the way its real world applications are making a difference in society. People can explore the Living Atlas, the highest spatial resolution, ecological land map, ecological land unit map, and the world has ever seen. GIS was first developed in 1962 by Dr. Roger Tomlinson, who introduced geographic information systems to the Canada Land Inventory. Roger is quoted as saying the early days of GIS were very lonely. No one knew what it meant, and my work has been missionary work of the hardest kind. Well, GIS certainly isn't lonely today. Thanks to the efforts of many pioneers such as Roger Tomlinson. So Dr. Roger Tomlinson worked with Canada Land Inventory in 1962. He is seen as the dawn of GIS as GIS emerges in 1962. The earliest published reference to GIS is by two scholars at the University of Illinois. The term Geographic Information Systems is coined on December 1st, 1965. The first Landsat satellite is launched. The launching of the first Landsat satellite launches the start of continuous Earth monitoring, July 23rd, 1972. The Street View program with panoramic street level imagery for mobile devices is rolled out in the US on May 5th, 2007. So GIS Week is a series of week-long events organized to celebrate GIS technology and its contribution to the world. It is often celebrated during Geography Awareness Week, which falls on the third week in November every year. Dr. Roger Tomlinson, the pioneer geographer who developed GIS for the Canada Land Inventory, is popularly recognized and referred to as the father of GIS all around the world. The first ever computerized GIS in the world was created in 1963 as a result of Dr. Roger Tomlinson's visionary work to plan and develop the Canada Geographic Information System. So GIS Day is a perfect day to spread the gospel of GIS technology and its life-changing real-world applications to other people around the world. You can give a lecture or presentation about GIS, share your work with your family, host a GIS Day event, and write a blog or even a song about the GIS technology that you love so much. For the newbies, geocaching is a scavenger hunt style game. You can play with a GPS receiver, go on an adventure tracking down hidden items at obscure spots, bring out your inner Lara Croft, and go treasure hunting on GS Day. On GS Day, you can also be a storyteller. Just submit a GS story map to any of the story map competitions around the world, such as ArcGIS Story Maps competition for sustainable development goals. So before Dr. Roger Tomlinson popular work with GIS in 1962, Charles Pickwet used spatial analysis in the first documented use of GIS to visually track the cholera outbreak in Paris. It was first used in 1832. A physician, John Snow, discovered that cholera was spread through water by using Pickwet's method to track cholera cases in London and develop a hypothesis about the disease. It has saved many lives. On August 14, 1959, the United States of America took the first ever satellite image in the world. It was an image of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean. The infamous blue marble is one of the most reproduced images in the history, a picture of the Earth that was taken by Apollo 17 crew on December 7, 1962. GIS isn't used to observe the Earth. This technology has also been used to map out the surface of Mars, which paved the way for the first rovers to land on the red planet. GIS technology is amazing, and yet too few people know about or are interested in it. Perhaps inspire the next generation of GIS users and developers. GIS Day is a perfect day to shine a light on the achievements of GIS warriors, both past and present. You can share the works of some GIS legends or give a well-deserved brag about your own accomplishments using GIS technology. It's not geeky to admit treasure hunts are awesome. We love GIS Day because GIS technology takes traditional maps a step further and reveals previously unknown truths about the world. We can find obscure places and discover hidden truths by GIS. So talk about a treasure hunt. This week is also commemorated as Geography Awareness Week from November 13 to November 17 in the US and across the world. Basically, it started in the US. The aim of Geography Awareness Week, which occurs third week of November, from November 13th to 17th this year, is to raise awareness about the significance of geographies to everyone's lives and encourage people to consider their relationship with the environment. Did you know the world geography was first used by Eratosthenes of Cyrene 276 BC to 194 BC in the title of his book Geographica. Geography is the term for the study of places and how people relate to their environments. It is a field that touches other disciplines including geology, botany, economics, sociology, and demographics. Geography Awareness Week was created by the National Geographic and became established by the Presidential Proclamation in 1987. So geography existed before human beings, but we never studied it until we became capable of thoughts and more aware of our environment. Although Eratosthenes first used the word geography. The ancient Greeks believed Homer through his poetic works. The Iliad, the Odyssey, was the founder of geography. However, it was Thales of Miletus who created many of the astronomical and mathematical rules that served as a foundation for the scientific study of geography. Under Roman rule, geography flourished and was used to further empire's development and expansion. The ancient Romans used geographical systems to construct a transportation system which consisted of 50,000 miles of road. They were also employed in building canals, aqueducts, tunnels, mines, and in military expeditions. One of the significant maps of that time is the Pöttinger table, which includes the entire Roman Empire, the Middle East, Britain, and Africa, China, India, and Sri Lanka. As individuals such as Marco Polo began to explore the known world in the 13th century, geography developed and more people were encouraged to embark on similar explorations. The Portuguese and the Spanish also contributed to the development of geography between the 15th and 16th centuries. Significant promoters of geographic studies of that time include Richard Hakluyt, Theodore de Bry, and Giambattista Ramsay. In the 18th century, geography became recognized as a discipline and was included in university curricula across Europe. However, in Britain, it was taught as a subdiscipline. In 1830, the Royal Geographical Society was founded in Britain. And 58 years later, the National Geographic Society was founded in the United States. Geography continued to develop and expand in the 20th and 21st centuries, spanning various areas of human lives and our relationship with the environment. It has since undergone numerous transformations and is expected to do so again in the future. So that word geography first appears in the title of Eratosthenes' books Geographica in 3rd century BC, and the Babylonian map of the world, or Imago Mundi, is etched in a clay tablet. The first map is created in 600 BC. So Universalis Cosmographica, a map by the German cartographer Martin Waldseemüller, becomes the first map in the world. America is mentioned in 1507, which is the first map of the Americas. The National Geographic Society is founded in the United States and becomes a significant popularizer of geography globally in 1888. Eratosthenes is considered the father of geography, and he was the one that developed early foundation of the discipline. Physical geography, nature, and how it affects people and our environment. Human geography, this relates to the people, and environmental geography, how people can possibly harm or protect the environment. There are a number of career paths one can follow if you study geography, such as agriculture manager, land economist, urban planner, climatologist, and geographic information systems, GIS analyst, to name a few. So, how we can contribute as GIS professionals or enthusiasts of GIS technologies? Geography Awareness Week is all about educating people on how we interact with our environment and the importance of geography. So if you are knowledgeable about geography, you can educate people, create awareness about it in an exciting format, or invite a guest speaker to do that. You can film screenings, host a trivia night, or contest, or organize a speaker series. Whatever you decide to do, first need a secure venue. This can be either public space or your home. If you want to keep it to just family and close friends, send out invites and prepare necessary logistics. You can expand on these using the resources available on the National Geographic website. So, what's more you can do? You can also go geocaching. Geocaching presents an opportunity to build on your navigational skills, map reading, and use of GPS. You can also get to explore new places at the same time. If you are an outdoorsy person, geocaching is for you. The activity involves using GPS to hide and seek geocaches, containers with treasures. Check geocaching website for how you can get started. Earth catching is another form of geocaching. It provides an exciting way to learn about your environment and its natural process. You can organize an earth catching field trip with your friends or colleagues. And if you are a teacher, earth catching presents the perfect way to teach your students geography. Earth catching and geocaching websites offer several resources on this activity. Antarctica is the largest desert globally at 5.5 million square miles with a climate that prevents plants and animals from thriving. Antarctica stands as the largest desert in the world. Russia is home to 11 time zones. As we have seen that one end of Russia is starting in their day and the other end is winding down, 70 times bigger than the United Kingdom. Russia is the largest country globally, straddling two continents and covering 6.6 million square miles. Nearly 90% of the world population, that is 8 billion people, that is 7.7%, lives in the northern hemisphere, the half of the earth to the north of the equator. So the northern hemisphere is home to almost everyone. Mount Chimborazo is the Earth's highest point. Although not taller than Mount Everest, Mount Chimborazo is in Ecuador is the highest point on Earth. That is because of its location on the equator makes 7,000 higher in the sky than Mount Everest. Every year, North America and Asia gets closer to each other, reducing distance between the continents and the size of the Pacific by 2 to 3 centimeters. The Pacific Ocean is sinking. Geography also helps us to address global challenges. Climate change and variability, rapid biodiversity loss, and deepening inequalities are issues that threaten our existence now and in future. Geography is a discipline that touches many other disciplines like physics, chemistry, geology, political science, and sociology that allows you to leverage it to dwell deeper into the root causes of these challenges and develop solutions for them. Geography offers the knowledge and the tools to understand the various natural processes and earth systems. It demonstrates how our activities affect the planet and how interconnected we are. For example, an increase in global temperature due to human activities can drastically impact climate patterns, forcing us to adapt to how we live. Understanding your location in relation to your environment by using landmarks, telling north and south, using maps to navigate your way in an unknown area, or how to use GPS are some of the navigation skills that geography helps us develop. So geographic information systems was initiated by the Environmental Systems Research Institute in 1999. As we have seen, the goal of this day is to make it easier for people to use geographic systems to better understand and manage challenges like climate change, transportation planning, and population and demographic statistics, and so on. So the GIS is simply the technology that comprehends the concept of where. This simply means that GIS is focused on collecting, displaying, and analyzing location data to assist in making informed decisions. In addition, GIS is used to determine the optimum location for a wind farm, predict flood zones, and plan the most efficient bus route. So the National Geographic Society in particular was responsible for establishing geography awareness week. So GIS has progressed from idea to science over 5 decades. As computers and early conceptions of quantitative and computational geography arose in 1960s, the area of geographic information systems was born. As academic research formed the basis of early GIS work, GIS has evolved into a platform vital to practically every human endeavor. It can be seen as a planet nervous system as it has moved to the web and cloud computing and is integrated in the real-time information via the Internet of Things. The Harvard Laboratory for Computer Graphics developed some of the first computer map making software. A bright group of geographers, planners, computer scientists, and others from various professions invented many of these early concepts for GIS and its applications in the lab. Numerous interesting activities can be done on this GIS day this year, whether it's in the classroom teaching, whether it's in the classroom teaching or real world GIS applications or out in the field recording GPS points. So Roger Tomlinson's work implementing the Canadian GIS is the first computerized GIS, which is the world's first computerized GIS in 1963. So Howard Fisher develops a SciMap at Northwestern University, which is the first computer mapping software package in 1964. Harvard Fisher establishes the Harvard Laboratory for Computer Graphics in Computer Graphics Laboratory in 1965. Jack Dangermond and his wife Laura start ESRI at Harvard, establishes ISRI in 1969. So ISRI starts ARC Info, the first commercial GIS technology, in 1981. So GIS platform, Google Maps, is perhaps the most extensively used technology. Ralph Nader, according to ESRI president and co-founder, Jack Dangermond was the individual who promoted the formation of GIS Day. A geographic information system, GIS, is a computer program that captures, stores, checks, and displays data about the locations on the Earth's surface. So you can join the celebration by satellite watching. Satellites circle our planet quietly for a variety of remote sensing applications and functions. You can use your phone as a satellite augmented reality app if you don't have a telescope. There's no better way to celebrate GIS Day than by appreciating professionals in a sector for their work. Thank the instructions for the message today. Get a better understanding and appreciation of GIS by joining the ISRI online network. You will be able to exchange, collaborate, and find solutions to the GIS challenges. Hot air balloons, kites, and even pigeons were used to obtain first aerial photographs. Wilbur Wright took the first aerial pictures from an aeroplane. So 2013 GIS Day was one of the largest, with over 1,000 hosts and 105,000 attendees. The largest GIS Day celebrated. GIS is used to study other planets. Its systems were critical to the exploitation and exploration of Mars. GIS studies, which goes beyond Earth. GIS is useful not just for forecasting occurrences, but also for managing them. So GIS manages situations. GIS has multiple beneficial uses, like GIS technology is utilized in a variety of commercial applications. GIS technology is to track natural disasters, determine how climate change will affect our globe, and locate communities in need of assistance following disasters. GIS Day brings together users of geographic information systems to showcase real-life applications that are making a difference in our society. It spreads awareness of GIS benefits mankind. GIS Day is a global movement that brings together universities, government organizations, schools, nonprofits, and GIS professionals, which aims to promote GIS awareness and understanding of the world. So we request all the participants who are attending these sessions to kindly register for the event which has been raised through the registration form, which has been raised in the form of polls, quizzes. It is mandatory for everyone to register, as it is through this registration form we receive the details of yours, and accordingly we can issue certificates. And all the certificates will be issued in a week's time. So we request everyone to attend completely so that you will be eligible for this certificate. So today, as we are celebrating the GIS Day with GIS professionals and also celebrating the GIS professionals, inspiring the world with GIS, celebrating GIS Day by hosting events at various organizations, schools, or community. GIS helps us to analyze Earth information, informs decision making, and creates a positive impact, showcasing our achievements and promoting real world GIS applications. GIS Day is an opportunity for GIS professionals and organizations to highlight their work and share the amazing things they are doing via fun, educational, and grassroots events. So GIS touches people's lives daily, yet many are still unaware of its power and pervasiveness. Invite others to see how you are using GIS to understand the world and make better decisions. Every map has a story to tell and has the potential to make a difference. Show off your impactful maps and demonstrate your audience how they can use GIS to tell your own stories. GIS Day is a day dedicated to showing, teaching, and inspiring others. Spread enthusiasm that help people learn more how to use GIS for themselves in their work, in their schools, where they are volunteer, or even for the hobbies and interests. So we can watch few videos where we can get insights on this day and technologies.
The astronauts also turned their cameras toward
Oh, I remember those first pictures of the little blue and green planet from outer space.
much more brightness than the moonshine we've seen.
It was almost science fiction. Almost, I could hardly believe it. And now things that I've seen looking at satellite images, seeing the extent of deforestation. We, the most intellectual species, are destroying our planet. As ecosystems are destroyed, plant species, animal species will disappear. These are shocking things, but it should wake us up. We should be very, very alert now. Gombe is the smallest national park in Tanzania. When I began in 1960, Gombe was part of the equatorial forest belt. They went all across to West Africa. By 1990, it was a tiny island of forest surrounded by completely bare hills. That's when it actually hit me. If we don't do something to help the people find ways of living that don't destroy the environment, we can't even try to save the chimpanzees. It was in 1994 that the Jane Goodall Institute began its Takari program. This idea of working with the people was sort of new. I mean, others were handing out bits of money and jobs and stuff, but this was working with the people. We talked about the terrible erosion on the hills where they'd removed the trees, but they removed the trees not really through ignorance, but through desperation to grow more food. They wanted fertility for the overused farmland, which we managed to do without any chemicals. And we were providing people with jobs, helping us to observe the chimpanzees. Once the villagers had come to trust us, they began to understand that preserving the forest, the environment, was just as important for their own future as for preserving wildlife. They got together all the data that they have decided is important, whether it's an illegally cut tree or whether it's a sighting of a chimp nest. The volunteer monitors all record the same things. They enter into the smartphone all the data, plug in, and upload it. GIS has really changed the way that I can see into the future. It gives us a whole new tool for understanding the environment that we cannot see from down on the ground. That information becomes available to JGI, to the village leaders, as part of a picture of what's going on around the globe. Indomitable human spirit, resilience of nature, the energy and commitment of youth, this incredible intellect. Those are my reasons for hope. If we get together now, it's not too late. We can solve the problems. We can, we must, we will.
We're in a new age of exploration. In ways it looks like what's come before. Explorers have always been curious, courageous, driven to see the unseen. But today, their tools are more powerful. Discoveries are more diverse. And often, what's at stake is nothing less than the future.
One of the big scientific questions this expedition is answering is how climate change in particular is happening in the high mountain regions.
As ecosystems are destroyed, plant species, animal species will disappear. These are shocking things, but it should wake us up. We should be very, very alert now.
National Geographic and Esri have joined forces to inspire students to take on the challenges they will face layer by layer. Announcing Exploring with GIS, a series of video short stories about the power of geography.
Science isn't useful unless it's communicated. GIS turns statistics and numbers into pictures and maps.
Exploring with GIS. Stories about a new age of exploration for the next generation.
Mount Everest is in the Himalaya, which is the biggest, highest mountain range in the world. It stretches across a large section of Asia. Mount Everest is the highest peak in that big mountain range. You get there by flying to an airport at about 11,000 feet. From there, you hike up all the way to Everest Base Camp at about 17,500 feet, and you look up at the summit and you can't believe how high it is above where you are. One of the big scientific questions this expedition is answering is how climate change in particular is happening in the high mountain regions. I'm in charge of the mapping team. The mapping team that I led was 4 people, 2 of us working ground-based data collection and 2 working from helicopter-based data collection. At Everest, we were using GIS to collect layers of information about the rock and snow and ice, information about the local weather and the longer-term climate, and how those elements of the high mountains were changing over time. And we're doing an incredible amount of scientific research on the highest glacier in the world, which is the Khumbu Glacier. The Khumbu Glacier is the primary route for ascending to the summit of Mount Everest from the south. One of the main reasons for the mapping work we're doing is to understand how quickly the glaciers are changing. Terrestrial LiDAR is mounted on a tripod. It just slowly rotates and captures information about the distance to every object that it sees. LiDAR is a mechanical device that sends out a beam of light that bounces off every object that it reaches. It is the collection of all these different points that allows you to create a 3-dimensional model of the world around the LiDAR device. The map you're looking at here is the actual image that I see as I'm collecting data. So each of the red dots is a LiDAR station, and the lab here will then take all that data, work in very high-end 3D software to stitch it together so that each station connects to the other station in a precise way, and all the photography can also be integrated with the 3D model. This clip may look like conventional video footage. In fact, it is a 3D model made from detailed LiDAR data combined with digital imagery. The hope that comes out of this expedition is a hope about human beings being able to adjust to life on this planet in a way that we aren't destroying the environment that we depend on. And if we can start working on addressing it now, it's just a lot more hopeful for a successful future.
I can't believe this, you guys. I can't believe it. Look at her. This is a mama bear, and you can see her 3 cubs are with her. She's teaching them how to catch salmon to fatten up for hibernation. I'm Raywyn Grant. I'm a National Geographic explorer, and I studied black bears. I am a large carnivore ecologist, which means I study meat-eating animals. In particular, I study black bears and their movement and behavior around human areas. These are poop gloves from yesterday. Ray to the stage. I'm definitely a city girl. I didn't have my first experience in the outdoors until I was in my early 20s. That really helped me realize that this work was something that I could be excited about forever. Go, 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 go! A lot of people are not like me. They don't love bears because they have scary interactions with them. That's called human-bear conflict. Bears are actually really important for ecosystems to stay healthy. So part of my work is to get rid of human-bear conflict. Black bears are coming in from California, crossing the Sierra Nevada mountains, and recolonizing historic habitat. One of the cool things that my GIS work allows me to do is map the areas where humans and bears are overlapping. All right, I need to figure out where these bears are. GIS turns statistics and numbers into pictures and maps, so I can upload a data layer of bad bear habitat. Red means towns, cities, roads. This is Carson City, which is the capital of Nevada, so you can imagine that it would be dangerous for bears. And then I can have another layer of really green, lush forest spaces. Now I have my predictions of where is really good bear habitat and some kind of dangerous bear habitat. It's time for me to go into the field and track how often bears are going into the red zone to make sure people don't have conflicts with them. Part of my fieldwork requires getting up really, really early because bears are most active at dawn and dusk. Ooh, look at this. Scratch. You can see right here, scratch. That tells me bears are here. So I pull out my GPS unit and I use it to mark locations where I see bears or evidence of bears. Once I get thousands of points of where bears either are or have been, I can put that information back into the map. Pretty often, I also get to touch bears. All done. Time to warm up. I get to put collars on them, which is another way that I get really good GPS data. Inside of this black container is a GPS unit. So I'll set a trap for a bear. That makes it safe for me to tranquilize the bear. I put the collar around their neck, bolt it shut, and I'm out of there. I've just uploaded the locations of every single bear that I've ever put a GPS collar on. They're showing up here as little colorful dots, different colors for different bears. What I'm seeing is actually making me a little bit nervous because although the bears are mostly staying in places that don't have a lot of people, there are some bears that are getting pretty close to the cities. The only reason they would come into a human area is because they're looking for food. One of the cool things that my GIS work allows me to do is bring my information back to communities that live with bears. Science isn't useful unless it's communicated. And what I love about GIS is it allows me to collect data, to analyze data, and then to produce a visual representation. Yes, a bear-proof trash can. I love to see this. Governments have actually taken some of my work into consideration to change where they're going to build roads and highways to better protect bear habitat.
Do bears like marshmallow?
They do. Sometimes I'm really hoping that my work with black bears can really help us to get to a place of coexistence for bears and people in the future.
We know that plastic pollution in our ocean is an enormous problem. There's about 8 to 12 million tonnes of plastic entering our oceans every year. And a big artery, a big route for that plastic into the ocean is through rivers. We're like detectives working our way up through that river system to work out what's going on. So our quest is to do the first large-scale, river-level assessment of plastic. We are really looking to identify the sources, how it gets into the river, how it then moves into the ocean, and most importantly, what are the local and global solutions to change that. I'm Heather Coldaway, I'm a National Geographic Fellow, and I'm the science co-lead for the Sea to Source expedition. 40% of plastic produced every year, that's single-use plastic. That's the bit where there's a huge opportunity to reduce the amount of plastic in the system. We want to actually look at the major rivers of the world. We've started with the Ganges. It's an iconic, culturally famous and legendary river system that's so important for the people of India and Bangladesh. It's also considered in the top rivers contributing plastic to the ocean. One of the scientific questions we wanted to ask was to really understand exactly how does plastic, once it's in the river, actually move and flow through the system to get out. But most importantly, how do we go about stopping that flow of plastic? We worked with a conservation technology expert to develop a tag to follow the bottles and understand how plastic's moving from source to sea. We deployed 10 tags in India from Varanasi right up to the Himalayas. And as the bottle moves through the system, it pings a message on your cell phone. Just once it gets out to sea, and then you rely on satellite phone technology. The bottle tags are providing exact coordinates of where they are and sends the exact GPS coordinates. So the bottle tags are just one component of a whole body of information. What's so valuable about using GIS and GIS mapping skills is to be able to combine that information, so you're really collating all of that research knowledge and putting it in one place to give you an informed view of what's happening in a system. Plastic has become that tangible problem that people relate to. It feels solvable. It feels like there's momentum. It's something that relates to pretty much everybody on the planet, and everybody can make a difference. And that's a really exciting place to be. The opportunity around plastic is for the first time, it's connecting society with the ocean and gives us an opportunity to actually build a more ocean-friendly society.
So we have seen what is GIS, which is a spatial system that creates, manages, analyzes, and maps all types of data. A geographic information system, GIS, is a system that creates, manages, analyzes, and maps all types of data. GIS connects data to a map, integrating location data where things are with all types of descriptive information. What things are like there. This provides a foundation for mapping and analysis that is used in size and almost every industry. GIS help users understand patterns, relationships, and geographic context. The benefits include improved communication and efficiency, as well as better management and decision making. Hundreds of thousands of organizations in virtually every field are using GIS to make maps that communicate, perform analysis, share information, and solve complex problems around the world. This is changing the world works. By identifying problems, monitoring change, manage and respond to events, performing forecasting, setting priorities, understanding the trends. So, as we also have seen how GIS work, GIS technology applies geographic science with tools for understanding and collaboration. It also helps us people reach a common goal to gain actionable intelligence from all types of data. Like maps are the geographic container for the data layers and analytics. If you want to work with them, GIS maps are easily shared and embedded in apps and accessible by virtually everyone, everywhere. GIS integrates many different kinds of data layers using spatial location. Most data has a geographic component. GIS data includes imagery, features, and base maps linked to spreadsheets and tables. Analysis. Spatial analysis lets you evaluate suitability and compatibility, estimate and predict, interpret and understand, and much more, lending new perspectives to your insight and decision making. Apps provide focused user experiences for getting work done and bridging GIS to life for everyone. GIS apps works virtually everywhere on your mobile phone, tablets, in web browsers, on desktops. Who uses GIS? We already discussed everyone, including a GIS novice. We are using Google Maps, right? So modern GIS is about participation, sharing, and collaboration. Discover how the technology is strengthening relationships, driving efficiencies, and opening communication channels in your community. We can see GIS is used in education, health, insurance, manufacturing, petroleum, public safety, real estate, retail, sustainability, telecommunication, transportation, electric and gas utilities, natural resources, government, water, and many more. We'll also see, let's look at how GIS is used in education field. GIS improves teaching, learning, and research administration. Learners gain problem solving and communication skills through GIS education. Integrating information across discipline via location reveals relationships between place and phenomena which promotes understanding. Education mapping software inspires sharing and action. In research, ArcGIS provides data integration, analysis, visualization, and storytelling capabilities that are uniquely engineered for data with a spatial component. Designed for interoperability, ArcGIS connects to other research toolkits to support open source science. In administration, with timely, accurate information and spatial situational awareness, administrators can optimize space use, protect staff and assets, communicate with stakeholders, and improve operations. Our GIS software helps institutions build and maintain engaging learning environments. So when we take in a role of GIS in higher education, preparing future generations to the global stepwards, a prosperous, just, and sustainable world emerges through a holistic understanding of the Earth's natural systems and human cultures. ISRI pioneers mapping and analytics for understanding global issues ranging from climate science to smart government. ArcGIS integrates, visualizes, and analyzes spatial data to reveal patterns and connections between places. It enables us to predict what could happen next and make smarter decisions about our future. Enhancing education with GIS, Geographic Information System. GIS technology is key to developing prosperous communities and solving world's most pressing environmental and social problems. Hundreds of thousands of organizations from a wide range of industries use ArcGIS to make maps, perform analysis, share information, and solve complex problems around the world. Leading colleges and universities prepare students for meaningful careers in GIS and advance our understanding of global systems and societies through GIS education. So enhance learning in any field through maps and data analytics combine to produce insights that deepen understanding of any topic. ArcGIS visualizes data from many sources to reveal patterns and relationships between people and places. These insights improve decision making in both natural and human systems. Prepare career-ready graduates. More than 350,000 organizations around the world use ArcGIS to solve complex global problems, and they need skilled graduates to hire. So learning industry standard ArcGIS positions students for success. Applying the science of where, ArcGIS is a complete cloud-based GIS that provides a framework to identify problems, understand trends, predict change, set priorities, and evaluate results. It integrates layers of information based on location and helps people gain actionable intelligence. Advanced knowledge through scientific research. Modern GIS tools support your work with authoritative data, robust analytical tools, and a framework for collaboration. ArcGIS connects to scientific models and methodologies and interoperates and other data science tools such as Polygon and R. ArcGIS helps administrators put resources in the right places to get work done. Smart campus maps integrate the common business systems to give you a holistic view of a campus and help manage operations from assigning classroom space to maintaining campus safety and security. If you look at the health sector, health and human services, GIS helps in understanding the impacts of place leads to better health. Health and human services professionals are benefiting from the insights that the power of place brings to their work. Spatial data and geographic information systems, GIS technology, can underscore coverage gaps in the populations we hope to reach. The opportunities to improve workflows and the ability to plan and further mitigate against unforeseen events. Applied GIS leads to improved health outcomes, increased accessibility to healthcare, and healthier communities. Strengthening public health preparedness, industry leaders revise, revisit strategies after COVID-19 and share best practices for this moment. If we talk in terms of applications of conservation, preserving biodiversity with GIS achieves sustainable conservation with the power of geography. Maps from intelligent conservation efforts amid growing threats to biological diversity, conservation professionals face mounting challenges as they work to protect nature grounded in geography, geographic information system. GIS technology supports modern conservation measures with tools to locate and measure biodiversity. Mapping real-time observations of natural areas drives insights that advance critical conservation science. A geographical approach to conservation professionals are enriching biodiversity preservation efforts with maps and apps optimized for common workflows. Underpinned with analysis-ready geospatial data, GIS helps conservationists gain insights into complex environmental challenges, better understand the interdependencies of native species and human activity, manage operations effectively, and report on conservation impacts, mitigate threats from the climate change and unmanaged development. GIS helps in conservation land management, which is an optimized tool set for managing protected areas. The expanding human footprint, coupled with the growing threat of a climate change, is placing immense pressure on biodiversity conservation and long-term management plans. As global biodiversity continues to decline, it is an essential to effectively manage and safeguard design protected areas. Our GIS conservation solutions are designed through extensive engagement with leading protected area management organizations. These solutions offer powerful operational capabilities, dramatically reducing training and implementation costs, and support informed and timely conservation land management decisions. Conservation solutions for protected areas include tracking illegal activity. Many protected areas face pressure from illegal activities, including poaching, encroachment, and deforestation. Conservation solutions streamline the collection of field observations and provide a digital chain of custody for law enforcement actions, informing real-time monitoring dashboards to support timely decision making. Monitoring wildlife. Location-enabled wildlife field observations help protected areas managers evaluate the effectiveness of management actions, monitor trends derived from the field information through spatial analysis to inform and evaluate protected area management strategies. Conservation solutions enable a data-driven approach to wildlife management in protected areas. In mitigating wildlife conflicts, protected area management occurs within a complex tapestry of human population and wild landscapes. Historic encroachment into natural areas and corridors. In rare cases, recovery of predator populations have led to increasing instances of human-wildlife conflict in local communities. Conservation solutions support the collection and monitoring of incidents adjacent to the protected area and support planning and actions to reduce conflict. Open Space Institute OSI implemented ArcGIS Online to improve access to geographical data that traditional methods made cumbersome and time-consuming. In maintaining park infrastructure, conservation land management involves protecting natural areas while providing both basic infrastructure for the visitors and recreational opportunities within national parks. Conservation solutions support planning of infrastructure projects, maintenance programs, and the efficient management of staff and resources, essential to protected area management operations. Coming to community-based conservation, empowering community planning and action as humankind impact across the planet drives massive disruption to the natural resources that sustain life. Communities and local people around the globe are mobilizing to become better stewards of the world around them. Adaptive community-based conservation planning is a local level approach that helps community members better understand the importance of nature and protected areas and leads to informed sustainable actions. So community-led conservation at Jane Goodall Institute, local voices, local choices, the TACARE approach to community-led conservation is an immersive journey into the efforts of Dr. Jane Goodall and her colleagues to genuinely understand community needs. They collaboratively develop local and sustainable strategies to improve well-being of both the community and natural world around them. They, through authentic voices of Goodall's team at the Jane Goodall Institute, JGI, the book shares insights on effective and empathetic approaches to community-based conservation informed by GIS conservation planning. So it is also available in the form of book. If you want, you can go through it. So, conservation technologies include ISRI's geospatial software, or GIS, provides a comprehensive set of technology solutions for efficient science-backed conservation programs. RGS offers integrated mobile apps for planning, conducting, and analyzing field observations with integrated workforce management tools to take your mobile work to scale. Managing vast data sets with ease in secure cloud or hybrid data stores to power real-time dashboards of conservation operations enhanced with content from the vast ArcGIS living atlas of the world. Analyze, discover new conservation dynamics through modeling our natural world with the most comprehensive and open set of analytical methods and spatial algorithms available. Collaborate, accelerate effective partnerships and public engagement with shared maps, apps, and stories to inform broad and transparent conservation initiatives working to address big problems. In terms of global development, which maximizes the impact of your global development programs with local intelligence, GIS plays significant role. Shrinking the distance to food aid, USAID used predictive analysis tools to optimize food distribution sites, minimizing the distances women and children travel to receive the aid. A system for global development, ESRI's ArcGIS technology equips you to better plan, execute, and report on global development in any situation, achieve goals faster, and with scientifically grounded system that precisely measures growth and provides the tools to share progress within the community. Today, we have n number of options. So plan effectively. ArcGIS workflows maximize the impact of projects by optimizing the distribution of resources, get insight about where the activities can be focused to best reach targets outlined in Global Sustainable Development Goals. Measure impact. A location intelligence platform precisely measures results so that you can justify expenditures and secure future funding. Take advantage of the analytics that precisely assess program effectiveness and enable you to share it with all stakeholders via dashboards and map-based reports. Strengthening partnerships. ArcGIS is a collaboration hub that facilitates partner-client interactions, leverage easy-to-configure apps, interactive apps, and authoritative data to engage grantees, beneficiaries, donors, and the public. In the context of natural resources, digitally transform natural resource management for greater sustainability using GIS technologies. Create a central data repository, provides a complete spatial platform to enable everyone in the organization to find, share, and analyze information when they need it. Access to the world of content, access the foremost collection of global spatial information, including imagery and topographic landscape, geologic, and demographic data layers. Transform your daily operations by streaming mobile sensor data to workflow-oriented dashboards for real-time operational visibility. Use advanced spatial analytics to uncover trends, improve understanding, and inform decision-making. Even in agriculture, which is intelligently managed agriculture by GIS, analyze all field data in one centralized system, collect, maintain, analyze, and share your agriculture data with ArcGIS and make better in-season decisions. Integrate earth observations, imagery, field data, and real-time data streams to improve efficiency, profitability, and sustainability. Reimagine how you support the rapidly growing need for sustainable production to feed the world's growing needs. Develop a holistic approach to precision farming. Create maps and dashboards that integrate important variables such as soils, irrigation, yield, production cost, profit, and compliance data, and maps, imagery, field data collections, and real-time sensor feeds into interactive apps. Deploy on-premises and or in the cloud with modern architectures, a SaaS, DaaS, or IaaS infrastructures. So, with agriculture segments, there are various segments like farm planning and decision making, mobile work and connectivity, regenerative agriculture, public and private partnerships. A system of engagement for precision agriculture. Use maps and spatial data analysis to visualize, understand, plan, and act. For non-profit and non-governmental organizations, expand positive impacts with geographical approach. Geography provides a framework for problem solving. Thousands of non-profit entities and non-governmental organizations, NGOs around the world use a geographic approach to advance their missions. The approach has been founded, has a foundation in geographic information systems technology that enables faster data sharing, fluid collaboration, and issue action. Viewing operations and outreach through a geographic lens elevates strategic business plans, enhances services, and promotes lasting change. So gain a new perspective on your mission with GIS. Non-profit organizations can apply a geographic approach to everything they do. GIS technology allows staff and volunteers to connect data based on geography and apply spatial thinking to decision making. This unique perspective on creating, managing, analyzing, and mapping all types of data empowers teams to better communicate causes, understand communities, act on missions, and measure impacts. Use cloud-based and cost-effective tools to extend services, attract volunteers, expand and manage donor networks, and shape public policies. So non-profit and NGO focus areas are communicating your cause, understanding your community, act on your mission, and measure your impact. So communicating your cause for NGOs, take a geographic approach to outreach. Compelling map-based data visualizations and analysis provides powerful ways to deepen support for your mission. Immersive storytelling stands out and uniquely communicates why you are concerned, what happens if people don't act, and where there are opportunities to intervene. Use GIS technology to elevate communication strategies and rally passionate change makers. So build community with location-based insights like identifying advocates. Find community advocates to build the moment. The demographic characteristics across communities are widely diverse. Our GIS software provides apps and data that help nonprofit staff identify where people have interests that align with an organization mission and are likely to support it. Rich data analysis informs effective outreach across communities to drive engagement. Connect volunteers and needs, pair volunteers with opportunities to serve. Use the maps and apps in ArcGIS to show volunteers where people need their support and establish a genuine partnership between the public and planning professionals. So connect volunteers and need, compel supporters to make a difference. The visual storytelling in maps clearly conveys the need for change and amplifies calls to support your mission to more community stakeholders. So relate your mission to the community stakeholders. Use a geographical approach to put a nonprofit mission into the context of where people work, live, and play. Stakeholders can quickly see what needs to be done, where, and implement necessary actions. Understanding your community, apply a geographic lens to nonprofit data analysis. Passionate agents of change are quick to support your nonprofit organization mission to identify and connect with others. Use spatial data to gain a deeper understanding of the community and reach new supporters. Engage with communities by using dynamic maps that show needs and progress through compelling location-based data analytics. Use GIS to discover and leverage authoritative data. Collect and analyze data and support the program strategy. So make informed decisions with location-based insights. Drive advocacy using data and maps to drive advocacy. Data-rich maps help policymakers, decision makers, and other stakeholders understand complex information that often gets lost in a lengthy annual reports. ArcGIS serves as an analytics tool for big data sets showing the stakeholders what needs to be done, where, so they can make informed decisions and take necessary actions. Explore your community with maps and data. Understand a community lifestyles and demographics with ready-to-use content that can validate the program strategy. Location technology helps leaders gain insight on where goods or services are needed most, identify untapped resources, and prepare for the future. GIS shows a baseline of a community as it is today and provides predictive analytics about its future. Determine effectiveness and next steps, measuring the program success. Measure ongoing program performance to ensure that current community needs are met equitably. Proactively identify emerging needs with spatial analysis of community, coordinate and conditions, inform decision makers, donors, and volunteers about the positive impacts of programs with maps and location-based dashboards. Using ArcGIS to analyze data, deliver maps. In one place, you can inform volunteers and community champions about your areas of focus in real time, validate progress, and provide stakeholder access to review essential data and make informed decisions. So in a similar way, we have seen that GIS provides multiple opportunities in creating impact to all the stakeholders in various platforms, not only just limited to education, health, insurance, manufacturing, petroleum, public safety, real estate, retail, sustainability, telecommunication, transportation, electric, gas utilities, natural resources, government, water, and various sectors which provide GIS information technologies can be used to leverage the benefits of GIS technologies and to ensure that services are provided at optimal level. So with this, we shall conclude today's GIS commemorations for the day and celebrations. And we wish you once again all GIS Day and Geography Week. So we'll keep exploring. This is not just limited to this day, but we'll continue to explore daily with a few more domains where GIS can play active role in providing services. So we will continue, and this entire week we will be commemorating this Geography Week, and those who are attending for all the 7 days of the week will be getting a 1 week certificate in collaboration with ESRI and also Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts and Sciences, being part of the GIS Day celebrations and Geography Week celebrations. So we request everyone to keep attending daily and for the entire week as part of Geography Week celebrations to be part of this wonderful gathering. So see you all tomorrow with the same link at the same time. Take care. Good night. Before leaving, make sure you are filling up the feedback form. Thank you.